also. Please welcome this gentleman who's a philosopher, who's a guide, who's a mentor, who's the bestest buddy I ever got. None other than my beloved, lovely Mac. Please welcome Mac. Thank you, Mac. Thank you so much.
Okay, hi, hello everyone. Thank you, Vaishali. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Infinity family. I thought Vaishali is not going to stop. I saw some of you are actually sitting and making notes, so the new people, they thought the system has already started, right? I saw some of you doing that actually. So thank you, Vaishali. I think I have to, empty my drum now. I just heard a little bit towards the end. I think this is the best part about this business, guys. What you get here is so much love, and someone actually wishes that you live more. So thank you, Vaishali. I'm truly grateful. And I'm equally very, I will say grateful that the family that is with me today. So before I start, I must say thank you to all our uplines and in-service and Rahul Bhai for providing this amazing platform for all of us to come together and learn, right? So we're all excited, guys. Sunday morning, great. So I know some of you probably are attending this Sunday system for the first time, and probably, most of you probably hearing or listening from me for the first time. So I'm going to basically talk to you here about my journey. Yeah. So because I got a call from my upline yesterday, and my upline said, hey, you're going to take a system tomorrow. I was like, oh, okay. And then I got to know that I'm going to share my journey. So let's basically start. So a little bit about me. Of course, translator, my speed is okay? Okay, yeah. So I grew up in a village. Some of you probably already know Indian villages, how they look like, how they are. Yeah. So how many people are from villages? Okay, great. Okay. So there are many people like me who are already there, great, who grew up in coconut trees, or God knows, yeah, okay, running around here and there, fantastic. So I was just like one of you guys. I grew up in a village, okay, where my parents were teachers, and of course my grandparents were farmers. So yes, my day was like running around in the village, circling around school and house, and climbing up on trees. My parents were teachers, though I had to read books. So I used to read books on trees sometime in my backyard, me and my sisters, standing, and then just waiting for friends to come. And minute they come, then they go around catching some, running around chasing some chicken and dogs, because there are no toys, that. Correct. So how many people are in villages, that there is no concept called toys, right? So whatever you get around, you actually start playing with it, right? So yes, I was one of those who basically spend all my childhood doing all these things, naughty things. So I was one of the really naughtiest kids. Things that we used to do, I can't even tell you, really, as kids, So playing, I think some of you already know, right, that we used to take some bicycle tires and, motorcycle tires, and then, run around, whole village, and then go around and just, circling here and there. And then, of course, there was no concept of chappal, actually, So I don't know, a lot of people know this Indian brand called Bata. So whenever, when my mom bought me a chappal, I used to wrap it in a plastic and keep it, right? Because, I used to only wear it when I had to step out of a, village, that's, so that's how my childhood was. So of course, my, as a kid, I was really naughty. I was not a normal child, so my mom used to always give a lot of trouble to my parents. Minute I stepped out, my mom used to always, run behind me all the time, chase me that where is he gone, what is he doing? Because by the time she catches me, I have already done something. You know, either I've broken my leg or broken my toe or something that I have already done. You know, so that's how I was. So I love that childhood, that part of childhood. I was absolutely a free bird. Yes, a little bit about my parents and my house. I think we are not very great. You know, that time my financially, I had two more sisters. Like one is elder than me, another one is younger than me, and then three of us used to go pluck vegetables in the backyard, and my mom used to cook amazing food, you know, and then we used to hug tight to our parents, and then we used to go to sleep, and then we used to get up and go to school, and that's how my life was. Yeah, as in my parents, I a little bit I know, you know, like 1,000 rupees, you know how 1,000 rupees is, right? 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees was the salary they used to earn as teachers. And but trust me, you know, that entire childhood, they never made us realize that we were poor. That's the beauty about our parents, isn't it? Correct. And yes, as I said, like I used to go around, have fun, but that freedom didn't last actually for too long. You know, so because around, I think when I was around 4th or 5th grade, my dad came and says, listen, if you stick around here and, you know, for a very long time in this village, God knows what's going to happen to you. You know, so we as a parents, we have decided to put you in a hostel. And this is where the life has completely taken a turn. So I didn't knew the whole concept of hostel. My parents took me, and then I went to a hostel in there's a small town outside Mumbai, and then they got me admission, and then I was searching where is a hostel. So we went to one big hall. It was like a massive hall, and then I saw many kids sitting there and hanging around, and I was like, okay, so where are the rooms? I thought this is like a main hall, right? But then I realized that was hostel. That's it, you know. So that was hostel. So we were just like, you know, I was basically just hanging around. I spent from my 4th grade, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, you know, up to 8th grade. I was in this 4-5 years. I was in that one big hall. That's it, and that's how my life, everything took turn from there onwards. Because as a child, you know, staying away from parents, you never imagine, right? You never imagine those, you know, because you're very young at the age of 10, and you still need everyone to be around you, isn't it? And of course I had to go according to my parents, because otherwise I would have got spoiled in village. So they said, you need to be there. So me and one of my elder sister, we shifted to the small towns. She was staying with uncle. I was staying in the hostel. Now this whole part of my life for 4-5 years was actually full of learnings, right? You know, because somewhere I was like a free bird. I came to this place, and I suddenly realized that I don't have anybody around me. I'm just alone. I don't know anyone, you know. So I had to make friends with any person that comes next to me. So the person who just, you know, sitting next to me, I didn't know this kid. I started to get to, you know all these kids. So there are 60-70 kids in that one hall. I used to just know them. And this hostel was getting ran by one of the village social welfare organization, you know. So you can see it's just a charitable thing. And yeah, we used to for a little bit, you know, you should know that we used to cook actually. So the kids used to cook for the kids, right? So that's how it was. So I used to cook at the, you know, age of 10. So we used to take turns. And yeah, I was the youngest in the lot. So they used to give me all cleaning work. And you know, when I had to go to school, I used to get up early morning. There was no water. There was no concept of tap. There was a big well. I had to go there, get a water out, take a shower, and thick fog. I used to go to school. It was pitch dark. It used to be early morning, and that's how I used to walk. And yeah, so parents used to come once in a 3 months to see me actually, because they were staying far away, so they used to spend 10 rupees to 20 rupees, buy a ticket and used to come for one day to meet me. And I used to hug my dad and used to cry actually, so, and he used to tell me, I know that I'm doing this to you, but I'm really sorry. You know why? Because I don't have money to buy a house to stay here in this small town, because the school that you're getting admission is really good. So be here, study hard, and one day we will stay together. One day I will get a house. And that house was, I still remember, it was just, I will say close to, in Indian rupees, when you say 1.5 lakh, yeah. So he used to say that when I will have 1.5 lakh rupees for a house, soon will be connect, and that will be a reality soon. So far, so I was like, okay, so one day that house is going to come. So 1 year gone, then second year gone, and the third year gone, and that's how it never happened. And my entire childhood has gone into this hostel. Of course, because we couldn't afford a house. And then similarly, my sisters, we all started staying here and there, and then we couldn't stay together as a family, just because we had to take education and we had to, get our life in place. So by the time, it was, I think around I was in some 8th, 9th grade. By the time my parents could finally, borrow money here and there, and then finally they somehow managed to get a house. And when they got a house, just one room and a small attached kitchen to it. And this is where these three siblings finally came together actually. So when I was around 8th to 9th, and my both sisters, we came together, we started staying in that one room. And parents used to not come because they had their schools at and it was very far away, so they couldn't come. My elder sister used to cook for us. My grandmom used to stay with us. And and then since there was so much loan, because my dad couldn't afford, he used to always get stressed out. And I still remember this, the construction, the owner used to always come and ask, and he used to tell us that, kids, listen, your father owes so much money to me, so this is a house that is on loan. I hope your father is going to pay. And as a kid, we were still in a school, and we used to feel so bad for our parents actually. And my dad used to get so stressed out, and because of that, his health is to get deteriorated. And I've seen this all drama happening in my childhood, and only thing that time, we as sibling, came together and we took a decision somewhere we are going to do it well. So, as in, that's how I was. So, yeah, so that time, basically, I still remember whenever I think of those days, So I'm telling you, making money was a beyond choice. Like, people say nowadays, I will still manage. I have a time to choose my career, and I'm going to think over it and all that. We didn't have choice actually. For me, it was like making money was beyond a choice, because I had to first pay off the loans of parents, getting parents retired because they were very tired. And then taking responsibility of the house, that was a goal. And that's how actually my entire life was. Now, guys know, getting house in, so finally I got my, first job, so that time I could slowly pay off my parents' loan, got them retired. But then that small house was not enough, right? Just one room. And this is where the whole chase started of getting house in Mumbai. So I think all of you know, it's like getting house in Mumbai is like, the property rates are as good as New York, So that's how expensive it is. So of course it was beyond my reach, but I had to make it. So Mumbai journey started, Mumbai train. I almost traveled by more than 10, 12 years. I have traveled in train for first my college and then my, so parents, again, we got separated because I had to stay in Bombay and then parents were here and then, train journey started. But train journey, I'm sure a lot of you guys know how Mumbai train is. You must have seen videos or some of you are actually from Mumbai. So I still remember that incidents where I was pushed in a train and I felt, and fell down inside the train, of course, luckily. And then somebody pulled me and my entire shirt was torn. So I still remember I was standing in a train for almost 1 hour with a completely torn shirt, and I got down in Dadar. And that 1 hour, I took a decision. I don't deserve this life. And from there onwards, something happened, So something happened in the sense like I was in the job, but I took a decision that this life, I don't want it, because I hated the system, that how we as common people get treated. So I said, either I waste my entire life changing this system, or I built my own. And this is where everything changed. Of course, as soon as I got into corporate, that was my second job. I still remember. I took a decision to not get, mixed in the crowd, right? Because if God had brought me from the village to the city, I already knew that I had to go ahead from here onwards. So I started chasing in a corporate. I still remember when I used to enter in the office, I used to sleep in the office. I used to stay in the office for 7 days. I used to, I think some of you from Bombay, you already know, right? There is something called Nariman Point where you go, the high-rise buildings, and we used to go, and all my buddies used to go out and think, one day we'll make it big in this city, right? So I was like one of those. So I used to be very, passionate about my field of creativity. I wanted to make it happen for myself, just because, I needed money. I needed money to bring my family together in one house, actually. So 2000 to 2013 was close to good 11, 12 to 13 years. It was a chasing a dream, So I wanted to make it happen for myself. I just wanted to increase my salary so that I can provide a better life to my family. So I started focusing on industry awards. So in a media industry, advertising industry, there are a lot of awards. So I started to work towards it. I said, anyhow, I have to create my name. And this is how things started. First year, second year, third year, and 2003 onwards, I started to get a lot of nomination, then a lot of awards, and then things started changing. So firstly, in India's top 10 creative, then Asia's top 10 creative, then Middle East top 10 creative, and some global awards, and then got several awards from European, American award shows. Of course, ended up with even becoming juries on some of the award shows too. So those 12 years was crazy corporate life, from Mumbai train to started traveling by business class flights, so things changed drastically after that. I shifted to Dubai because I got a really good job. I got to work on a lot of big brands and they called me. So I started working. Finally, financial conditions were getting a little better. I started to get my house finally, but when I got a house finally for myself, I didn't even stay with my family more than 15 days actually, not even more than 15 to 20 days. I shifted to Dubai. And from there onwards, I just asked God, what's happening? Like whenever I try to come together, we never get an opportunity to ever stay together as a family. But I had to build a future of my family. So it reminded me my dream of getting this basically, there is a role that we play, right? Yes, as an elder brother, or eldest or son of the family, right? I'm sure most of you know, some of you already gone through it. So responsibilities were more important, yes or no, guys? Yeah. So money used to come and go, I used to earn a good salary, but money used to come and go because there's so much to give, right? Because there is already black hole that is created, where we are keep pouring and it's never get filled up. So it was really good career, but of course, financial conditions were still yet to be better. So of course, I had to do something. I still remember my parents used to fall sick, like my mother, once she was hospitalized, and my sister called me saying, "Mom is admitted in the hospital." And I just came rushing. I landed in Mumbai. I still remember it was an early morning flight. I remember the corridor of the hospital. I was walking, and all around me there were just monitors ticking, all the monitors ticking, and I could see these beeping sounds. And I asked myself only one question. I didn't know how much time I really have. Whatever little bit time that I've left with my parents, can I be with them? And somewhere I was to literally talk to God. And one day, I don't know, like probably I was attracting, but one day my sister called saying, "Hey, you know what? There's something I'm starting. I just need money, So, and I don't know, what was she starting? I just gave money. For 1 month, I suddenly saw my sister is excited and my wife was excited. I didn't know what was happening, So after 1 month, I realized I've signed up in the business. I was a horizon. Yeah, so some of you already know the lucky horizon. Yeah, so I was that lucky horizon, right? So who got signed up, who probably don't even know what signed up, right? So I was very happy that somebody thought of me. And my of course, my wife decided to take a decision to bring me in the business. So I was very happy. My sister did. And I didn't know I got inducted into business formally, none other than, my angel in this business, Rakesh Bhai, who inducted me in this business. He spent good 7 days with me. Trust me, I thank my star that he spent 7 days with me, because if this induction would have happened in any other way, I wouldn't have been there. So I'm forever grateful to him that he took his time, he spent 7 days with me. And today I'm here because of that. I signed up, of course, was just like any of you. Like, it just, I was excited, but that there are a lot of responsibilities in head. So when we always have that two minds. So you don't know what kind of industry, how it is going to be unfolding, because by that time I was already at the stage in life where I was almost, reaching to the final stage of my corporate career, right? So I was heading the region, and of course, so that time I was, yes, this is great, but I also have responsibilities. And I was in that dilemma. I'm sure all of you have gone through that dilemma, right? Yes or no? So when we start anything at the age of 30 plus, 32, 35, yes. So we go through that dilemma that, hey, you know what? I have responsibilities. And this was a very new journey. Though I was excited, on one side, I had a passion of my career. Of course, after spending for 14, 15 years, created my own name and fame in the industry, mentally it was not easy. Yes or no? Yes. So I gone through the same stage. I'm sure most of you gone through this. Yes or no? So what happens here is that when I was basically going through this phase, guys, this is the first mistake people do. You know, it is the first mistake people do in this journey, that because the reason to start the business is their job, and you know what, and reason to not do business activities is also the job. Correct. And this is the biggest mistake even I used to do. And this is where, correct, one good thing that I started to do is basically I got some time with the appliance in Dubai, right? And I met all our AVPs and VCs and V partners, you know, of course, our lovely angels, AVP Sachin, AVP Kavita, correct? And I started to interact with them. I used to always, you know, because they were like very big for me. So I used to always stand and I used to like, you know, okay, that's they're so big. So little bit, when I got to know them, I just said they're just like us. And I started to make friends with them. I just wanted to be with them, you know. And one day, none other than VC Puja came to Dubai to meet me. And trust me, guys, you know, from that day onwards, everything changed for me. So when, you know, like, you know, my father used to always tell me that, you know, I got your admission because that one student in this school has came into the merit, you know. So I still remember that because my father took a decision to get me admission in the school because one student of that school was making it, not the 99. So that was the proof that school can create a successful students. So similarly, when I came here, I didn't know anybody, but I saw, you know, someone like VC Puja was so humble, so simple, the person with absolutely no frills, someone is so innocent. I said, if she can make it, this is where I got my belief that, you know what, I will make it too. I had not made money, I had not done my DR, but somewhere I got my belief. And that was enough for me. That was enough proof for me. If that one person can be so simple and can still make it, I can do it too. You know? So I always say that, you know, keep, you know, somewhere as I said, like, you know, somewhere I used to think that when I will start to stay together with my parents, when I will make money, when I can get an opportunity to quit this job and start staying in normal, like normal people, right? You know, because it's just that I was tired till that time, you know, like just earning money and then providing family and then paying the loans, and I was tired. I was actually tired. And I just wanted to be with my family. And trust me, when I met VC Puja and when I met my, you know, our BP appliance, this is where somewhere I felt, you know, that feeling. God has made this body amazing. It has a feeling. It has that feeling, and that feeling was amazing. You know, I always say that, you know, when you ask help from God, God is not going to come down. He's always going to send people. And my VC and AVP appliance were those people. Of course, I started to meet all my other appliance, Mumbai appliance later. I met, you know, Rohan Bhai and all other my appliance. So people, correct, got, you know, get signed up as a hot zones, like just like me. Whether they get signed up from their brother, sister, doesn't matter. Correct? It doesn't matter what zone you are in, but you know what? Business, I never thought ever that business had to come, or business came to me through my sister. I never thought that. I always feel that it had to come in my life. That's why it has come in. It came in my life. So most of the people, doesn't matter how you come. it comes to you because it has to come to you. It doesn't come because of somebody. Because we are meant to be, we are here. And that's where I started to believe over a period of time. Because it's like, business was searching me and I was searching the business. So slowly, I started to spend time, because it's very important for me to understand that at initial stage, that gap, correct, that mind was not never ready. I felt everything is great. So job and business together, that what happens, right? Most of you, correct? So it was not easy at all, tough over commitment in the job, and then of course the business. So I was basically in this whole split. So I still remember, reading this one line from one of the most amazing book, from 2 Minutes from Abbeys, from Dato. So he Dato she written that, the lion, cannot be stopped by a fence, but the sheeps, they never dare to go beyond the fence. And I always, I always used to think of myself as one person who always crossed from village to city, from city to Dubai. So I used to always feel that I'm not made for this mediocrity. And I just wanted to break free. So I had to decide. I had to take a decision. Either all my life I'll be staying away from my family, or I will make that as my reality. So in this business, guys, there is one stage comes. There is one stage that comes for all of us. Initially I wanted it. Later on I felt I need it. But then I reached the point where I had no choice. And this is where the business started. Correct. So, most of us go through this. A lot of people say, at what stage, when I also started, a lot of people used to ask me, at what stage you took a decision? That was my stage. That was my stage, that I gave myself no choice. Because I want it, I need it, is always, we run like a, that rabbit and dog story, right? We always run with a choice in the head. So once, when I tell myself that I have no choice, I started to run like a rabbit. So this is where everything changed. Quitting job was a very big decision for me. Trust me. Everyone around me, more than me, everybody around me had a problem. Okay. Everybody around me had a problem, So actually, it was a big drama over 6 months. Even my corporate couldn't accept my resignation, but even they accepted over a period of time, and they said, okay, great. So we both accepted that we are not going to be part of each other's life. So this is how we parted, because I was overcommitted employee. So that's how they never wanted me to go. So I left my job, and this is where everything started. I started traveling markets. I used to, trust me, this is where I actually started to feel that I'm in a business. I used to stay away from my family because I had to build cities. I used to go for 3, 4 months. Guys, I'm telling you, that was a time I was getting built, actually. That was the time I was getting built. So my appliance was to always say, Mac, go travel. And trust me, guys, this is where you built yourself. Because I used to always get notes, voice notes from my son, that daddy, when are you going to come back? Because I used to go out for 3 months to 2 months, I used to travel here and there. And after my, and I used to listen to those, voice notes every day, and then I used to tell him that, hey, you know what, I'm going to come back, I'm going to come back, I'm going to come back. And 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and I used to just wanted to build big because of whatever I was doing. And I used to ask myself, you know, I have started a great career. It was at that height, and now I'm starting all over again. Why? Because I wanted it. And this is where my decision was getting more stronger. And guys, I'm telling you, such incidences, I'm sure some of you, the old people, must have gone through it, because, you know, when I was taking some of the module, you know, some of the new people used to come and ask me, you know, if your dream is to stay with a family, then are you living your dream? So I didn't have any answer, but I had a belief. I didn't have an answer, but I had a belief. You know, when you start, some of your friends ask, no, so how much you made it? You know, I used to never have answer to those questions, but I always had belief. Seriously. No, I gone through the phase where, you know, some people come in your business, you know, just to give that kick, right? Just to give that kick. You know, that the question is to create, you know, another level of fire within me, actually. Another level of fire. You know, actually, I always grateful to those people who came in my life and asked me some questions, because that time, you know, that time, my belief got more and more stronger. Because this is the second place some people give up. You know, I always say that, because this is a place, either, you know, this is a place where everything started to get defined. As I heard AVP Sachin, you know, he always says this, that, you know, it's not about, you know, the money, but it's what you become over a period of time. Because this is a place where the characters start to get formed. You know, there is that ego. I don't want to use the word ego, but I didn't have any other word. So either that ego crops up, guys. Yes or no? Now this is where you're in that phase, that why these questions are coming from someone I'm talking, someone I'm, you know, presenting the opportunity to. And this is where, you know, I always used to feel that either that ego will destroy my dream, correct? Or if I befriend with my ego, you know, if I kill my ego, it can allow me to achieve my dream. And this is where I had to cut, and I have to kill all my 12 years or 15 years of crush my corporate ego. Because this is where somewhere, correct, the empty cup was happening, actually, you know. Because even though I was in a business, it had not happened. It would not happen. So success, I feel, is all about conquering on ourselves, actually, you know. So somewhere every day, you know, every day I used to get exposed to certain situation, certain circumstances, certain good and bad times, correct? And I used to always, every day I used to go to the hotel, whichever city I am, and then I used to have this thought, right? And I realized these toxic thoughts are never going to allow my dream come true. So I wanted to basically, you know, kill my thoughts. And this is where, see guys, I'm telling you, goal will always put me to the test, right? So guys, what happens is, God has his own way, you know. I always say that God has his own way of giving. Before he gives, you know, he will taste you 100 times. He will taste you 100 times. He'll make you go through toughest situation just to check how ready are you for the success. And I'm telling you, not even once, not even twice, not even thrice, I've gone through several times. And every time I've gone through, I told myself, hey, you know what? I'm ready. Correct. And that time I used to always love watching this ad. I'll show this to you because I used to always feel, and I don't know how many people will relate to it because I come from the field of advertising. I used to always love some of them, but this particular one, I used to always visualize that I'm that one guy who's sitting there waiting for that right moment, and I used to visualize that, that the moment is arriving in my life. I used to always visualize that the day is going to arrive in my life. So I'll play that for you because most of you probably, even some of my teammates probably don't know about this. I don't know how many people could relate to it, but I used to always think, I'm that one guy, sitting there and I'm waiting for that moment to arrive in my life. And I used to always visualize that there'll be one day, there'll be one day this shall pass. This shall pass. And I used to always think, I love this song, guys. It's a Phil Collins, in the air tonight. You can, so very old song. But I used to love that song. I used to play. And I used to see this monkey, he's just going and drumming and he's just waiting for that day, So this is where, correct, this is how I was because I had only my thoughts actually, I had only my thoughts in this journey. Of course, I had my plans, correct, but I had my own thoughts and I had to control them. And this is where I had to empty my cup because I had to empty my cup every day because every day is to get filled up. Every day is to get filled up. I started to realize I used to consult my client and my client used to give me the feedback. Stop working like corporate fellow, and I'm telling you, and this was the greatest feedback thanks to all my clients who gave me. And I used to basically, work on myself a lot. But trust me, I'm telling you guys, in our business, over a period of time, I realized that if you're following, correct, successfully, then one day you will become a success story. And I literally started to realize that there's the only way, correct? So following successfully is one day become a success story, and trust me, this is where it was my greatest realization that even though I was in the business, I was somewhere carrying that corporate avatar. And that is the reason somewhere things were not going in the right way. So this is empty cup, was much needed at every stage. And thanks to all the in-service brotherhood, who kept on giving, I'm forever grateful to them that every time that I used to get these feedbacks and all my clients. So this is where things started to shape up a little bit in the journey. I'll always, I always remember those days, and every time I used to get, that feedback. I used to think, and I used to sometimes, I used to feel that, okay, why I'm doing this to myself, why? Because my dream was more important to me. So introspection was the only way. So I started to ask my question that, look at it, this business was a master plan for me. And I always say there are no faults in a master plan. Now this is a very interesting stage that comes in everyone's journey actually, everyone's journey. And it came in my journey too, so we all believe that this business is a master plan. Correct? Yes or no? Agree? But at some stage, we don't believe, we don't accept that there are no faults. So we accept the business is master plan, but we don't accept, correct, there are no faults. And this is where a lot of people actually go wrong, and I was going wrong too actually. I accepted master plan, correct, but I accepted fully. Everything that happens here is meant to be. It took me a time to realize, seriously, beyond the point. No, it was not always pleasant, but trust me, God has his own way of giving, right? God gave me people I never questioned. God took away some people I never questioned. So there are many good days and bad days, but I never question, because my plan is to always say that, hey, you know what, if you're accepting, you accept it fully. Everything that happens on a today is part of it, correct? So somewhere I think most of us, we go through, right? Because we are going through that path of showing plans, where we are basically going through all the business activities, and every day, whether you have a good day or bad day, whatever it is, but it's the path. It's a part of X, So before even it's like sometimes you are driving, and suddenly there comes a juncture, okay, comes a signal, and you like about to cross the signal, and the signal starts, so you have to stop and you brake. And then you're like, oh man, why there is a break? I was getting late. And you start cursing, right? I should have left early. This I would have not got this signal. Yes or no? And then the signal opens up. You start. And then ahead of you, after 5 minutes, you see there's a major accident, which is just happened, right? Then what do you tell yourself? Thank you, God, that signal was there. Otherwise, I would have been part of this accident. And that's exactly what is a master plan. There are no faults. Trust me. And I can say this. Everything that happens for good. It took me also time to accept it, to realize it. But today, it's part of my experience. Not even once, not even twice, several times. So guys, every day, these thoughts, what carries us, because thoughts becomes everything for you. They are the one who have been actually carrying me from point A and taking me towards point B. So it's like, so there is a wind beneath my wings are these thoughts actually. Now, this is where we need to protect ourselves, right? Yes or no? We cannot, doesn't matter what happens in a day. Let's accept the full master plan. And this is why I needed my appliance, which is the everything of this business. So this is where I started to spend a lot of time actually, because I could see I need my appliance. That time I was 100%, I will not say 100%, but I was somewhere getting to realize that I need to be with my plants. You know, guys, I'll tell you, when I started my journey at initial stage, I was lucky enough, very honestly, that I got time of all our VC appliance and AVP appliance and, you know, VP appliance. I used to come from office at around 10 o'clock. I used to come to association at night. And by the time everybody has finished their activities and everyone was going towards the dinner, and I used to just join for dinners, you know. So, but not even once any of my clients will say, okay, you just came for a dinner, right? Not even once. I used to just hang around with them. We used to have, for dinner, there used to be 20, 25 people. Then I still remember our, you know, VP appliance used to have a favorite tea junction. You know, there's some favorite places to have tea. So then out of those 25 to 30 people, only 15 will come for the tea junction. That is a late night association. Then after 12:30 to 2, I used to see only 10 people are left. And then of course my clients are there, right? Then around 2 a.m., those 10 people have only 5 people are left, right? And between that, just me and 1 or 2 more people. And this is where those 5 people, along with the upline, used to spend time from 3 a.m. to sometime even 5 to 6 a.m., right? And that is a time I used to get a lot of learnings. And I'm telling you guys, this is one of the biggest mistakes people do, that in the initial stage, they come with expectation that I'm sitting right now, so I can only give this much time. You know, at the initial stage, this is the only thing that held me together actually, because it kept me in the zone 24/7. Because by the time I used to reach home, I was tired, I used to sleep, I used to get to office in the morning, again go to association in the evening. So my head was getting protected actually, you know. So I always say that to a lot of new people, you know, are we trying to make this place as our home? Because, you know, every day, I was trying to make that place as my home. And I was attracting actually. I was sitting, because I see some of the people, you know, like if you're sitting in association and if you're wanting to go home, correct, that means you have created those 2 compartments in your head and heart. That house is different, family is different, and the business is different. If this business is going to help me achieve my dreams, then this is it. This is it. This is my family and this is my home. You know, there are not 2 different things. This is one. You know, so, you know, you make this place as your home, you know. And I used to tell God, you know, I want to be with my clients. I want to be with my clients because they're so amazing. And this is where probably, you know, the organization grew, guys. Because if you want to be the client, then tell God. God will give you the organization because you want to be with your clients. Trust me. I very honestly, you know, it was a belief. So whenever that feeling, whenever I used to spend time with them, there was a feeling that I'm with right people. Doesn't matter what it was, whatever, but I used to always get a feeling that I'm with right people. I didn't do anything extraordinary. Trust me. Correct. I'm not probably, I'm saying I was the best, you know, downline or the most craziest person. Correct. I never, but one thing, I never got into comparison, because VC Puja used to always tell me, listen, keep your blinkers on, keep your, this, you know, you need to always come into this business and association activities, working like this. Just work for yourself. Just work for yourself. Don't look here and there. Why that person is not there? Why this person is not doing this? It is your journey. Just focus on yourself. Because that is the only thing will help you stay in this business in initial stage. Because, I heard this story of Ram Prasad, I'm sure all of you know. Because that tend to happen, right? That happens to most of us because we come and we start looking here and there. So that is one good thing that I used to always do, that focus on myself. So I came to this platform because I wanted to reach to my destination. I started to follow uplines, correct, who reached to the destination. Because I knew that they know the path. I knew that they know the path. So as I always say, in our business, following, if you are following successfully, one day you become a success story. Because I have seen my own upline doing that. So following path and the end goal, most of us always get confused with, because that's a path and you want to reach to the goal. How does it matter what's a path? Beyond the point, I realize, like if I do 20 DR or 30 DR, or I need to do 40 DR, doesn't matter. It's a path I need to follow to reach to my dreams, which finally I can be with my family. Correct? So why I never focused on what I had to do, because I was probably busy only walking, right? I was not counting because I never wanted to count, correct? Who came, who gone, doesn't matter. As long as I was walking, because every day I walk, I know I'm reaching towards my own goal. So I knew one day if I keep running, keep walking, eventually it takes me to the destination. I believed in the path because it takes you there, correct? People, because people keep looking here and there when they're on path. And most of them, they never close eyes. I always, that there came a point in the business somewhere, I closed my eyes. I said, this is it. This is the path. Somebody has already walked it. I may not sit and question the path, because at the end of the day, this path leads to the destination where I want to reach. How does it matter what happens today? Because it's just a part of master plan. It's just a part of the path. So guys, very honestly, I've been meeting some of the people, and I spend time with them. I talk to them, some of the new people, and I often get to hear, that, someone comes and say, somehow I get my this 2 DRs, no, I will have belief, and I will have belief, and you know what, and then I will rock it. And I just laugh, somehow I get that 1 DR, guys, it never happens that way. I'll tell you, it never happens that way, correct? Because it's not the money that gave me belief. It's the belief that gave me the money. Understand this. Because some of them, like, I will let me see that few bucks. It's never going to work that way. I knew that belief in my plan, belief in the industry, belief in the process, belief in company, belief in product, belief in everything. Belief that gave me the money. And I'm telling you guys, even if you lose everything, but don't forget, you still have the belief. Because you can continue to make it over again and again and again and again, because your money is coming because of the belief. But if you first start, expecting the money, and if the belief is going to come after that, trust me, you may be lucky that you might have some of the amazing uplines who will help you get you 2D or 3D, right? And some bucks will come. But minute that bucks goes, you understand what happens? Because the belief was always a temporary. So the day you lose that bucks, you lose the belief too. So it's not the money that gives a belief. It's the belief that gives you the money. As I'm telling you, because I was not, as I said, I come from the village. Absolutely, a poor guy I was one point of time, but my family didn't have 1.5 lakh rupees, to buy a house, but I always believed one day I will have a house. One day we'll be staying together. I couldn't stay with my parents all my life. But I always believed one day we'll get to be with each other. So I didn't know the path, but I always believed he will show me the path. So when today this opportunity came, correct, I could see it's coming true. Because I believed in the opportunity. I believed in my appliance. And believed in myself. Right. I want to share, a video of something that this business gave me, and I really want, if AV is there, if you can share. I'm very grateful to this journey and to my clients, finally made it happen. So dreams do come true. Dreams do come true. Today, when I sent these pictures to my father, he was in tears. I'm telling you guys. So, yes, it took a time, but it happened. So, yes, I'm not reached there. I'm still in making. I'm still not perfect. I'm still yet to reach there. But trust me, as long as you have your appliance and your belief in them, you'll make it. So thank you. So thank you very much. So thank you all my appliance. Yeah, I'm forever grateful to all of you.